Don Jr. put out one video yesterday on the FBI raid, and then he called in, I think he called into Glenn Beck's show. It's the only other thing I've seen from him. But Eric has been doing the full court press. Eric is now the face of the Trump organization, which is not a good sign for the Trump organization. This is bad. If Eric is your go-to guy, and Eric, we've never seen Eric this upset, and Eric is always this upset. But he was on Hannity, and this is their argument is my father's poll numbers have gone through the roof. That's the argument they're going to make, is that this is helping him.
Trump's attorney joining us with more reaction. Eric Trump is with us. Eric, you were with your dad that morning, that day, a week ago. Let's go through what you know and now these new...
Yes, you were there. You watched the video on closed circuit television. You got immediately faxed a copy of the warrant and the list of items taken. You were also having, obviously, difficulty having gotten your tie stuck in the toilet handle again. So it was a mix of emotions that day. Tell us about it.
I also want you to stand back and look at the 6-year history that I just laid out here. I mean, you have a guy by the...
Yes, I don't know if you know, but your father was president during 4 of those 6 years. 3.5. He kind of gave up when he knew he was going to lose the election, and he just kind of was like, fuck this place. But, you know, in general...
We will stop him. This is in the summer of 2016 leading into your father's election.
So you didn't play the Access Hollywood tape in the thing? You didn't play the shots of Trump partying with Jeffrey Epstein? That wasn't in the package? Okay.
If your plan doesn't work, don't worry, we have an insurance policy. It's like if you're the unlikelihood that you die before, if you're 40 or below 40. He actually said that. No.
Yes, that kind of, yes. They're going to take insurance out on Trump and then kill him 30 years ago.
Sign these FISA warrants were ever held accountable. How can we say we have equal justice in this country? And
when even a former president has to follow the law.
All those people got away with it.
Well, we can't, Sean, because we don't. And you know, the one thing...
No, we definitely can't.
I tell you, it's caused the greatest fundraising. My father's poll numbers have absolutely gone through the roof.
They weren't through the roof already? They had that far to go? Were they that bad? Were they in the shitter? Is that what you're telling us, Eric? That until this happened, your dad's entire empire was flagging? I find that fascinating. I appreciate your frankness about it.
The Republican candidates, because they've all kind of disappeared. They're not even in the equation. I mean,
well, I mean, they talk about DeSantis all the time, and then nobody honestly thinks Ted Cruz has a shot.
I had 2 people in a restaurant who are trying to buy Laura and I dinner to apologize to what for what the United States government has done to our family, Sean.
Right. And those people have been following you for days, and you didn't find that creepy at all? I can't afford my medicine, but I want to buy you guys dinner because the deep state, the children kept in cages underneath the White House, they make milkshakes out of their blood. Adrenochrome, can I buy you a dessert?
The energy out there. I've been through all of these firestorms over the year. I've never seen America more
over the year
than it is right now. There's only so many times you can cry wolf. People are not buying this sham in the country. They see the weaponization of the FBI.
It's terrible.
They're calling it the police state in this country.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that you only hang out around your father's biggest fans.
Get this for what it is, Sean. They've removed the wool from people's eyes, and people know exactly.
Remove the wool, and that's where they've seen that there's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Going on. They're targeting Donald Trump. They're targeting his family. They're targeting everybody around him.
Well, no, I mean, they're just targeting his properties where he keeps classified documents illegally.
Targeting his lawyers.
Whoops. Hold on. Play again. Oh, sorry, there's always this audio issue. Is there two of these? Is that what the problem is? All right, we'll try.
Anybody who's effective, they're targeting right now, and people understand this for exactly what it's worth.
For the record, the FBI is very effective.
The names, all the people that signed the FISA warrant. I read the text of Peter Strzok and Lisa Page.
I showed the pictures of your dad partying with Jeffrey Epstein. I played the Access Hollywood tape. I played all the video of him saying that that women weren't even attractive enough for him to have sexually assaulted. I read all the notes that Michael Cohen sent me when I was client number 3, and your dad was hiding the fact that he had fucked Stormy Daniels while Barron was 4 months old. I saw,
conservative
I did,
associated with your dad, and these pre-dawn raids, guns drawn. In some cases, the media tipped off. So
guns drawn. No. They did not enter these places guns drawn.
On camera at 5:45 in the morning. How convenient. And now
that's the idea that they told that somebody tipped off CNN, as if Roger Stone didn't have like reporters around him getting or people being paid to like tip people if he was doing anything in particular.
Father's home.
By the way, paid for by Roger Stone to keep him in the news. Because if Trump lost interest in Roger Stone or thought that he could flip, it was better financially for Roger Stone, because Roger Stone knew that he had committed crimes, and the only way that Trump was going to protect him, and he ultimately did, is if there's a lot of publicity around what happens to him, and Trump is aware of the threat posed to him by Roger Stone if he doesn't protect him. So Roger Stone, more than likely, had multiple people that would tip off the news media if ever he was in trouble, or if he had to show up in court, or any of these things, or if the FBI was outside. My argument is Roger Stone called CNN.
And they just started taking boxes out randomly, and
no, not randomly. They were marked.
Through Melania's wardrobe, apparently, as well.
Yeah, the FBI sniffs panties. That's what they do. That's the whole thing. They all wanted to be so close to her because she's so goddamn hot that FBI agents, male, female, black, white, doesn't matter, just went through and just wanted to lick her long coats and her pantaloons, for fuck's sake.
The question is, back in June, your father offered to give them everything. Isn't that true?
And then he didn't. Why did your dad offer to give them everything when they were there, and then not give them everything while they were there? Why not say, go get a fucking truck? Please take it. Please return anything I'm allowed to keep. I'm going to, somebody compile a list of the stuff that we really wanted to frame, put in the library and that kind of stuff. If we can get the original, that's terrific. If we have to get a really good copy, let's get those made. But yeah, just take it all. Take it all today. If any of my staff accidentally put anything wrong in these boxes and they somehow got out, I'm not comfortable with them being on the grounds, because we rent this place out. That would be terrible for the country. It would be bad form for me. Get it all. Take it now. Why would you not do that in that second? Why the fuck would you not immediately, in June, when they showed up with the subpoena, say that? That's the part I find the most absurd in all this shit. And this defense has happened multiple times on the right for Trump or whatever. Like he was complying. He was helping. No, he wasn't. He was stonewalling for months. They finally came there and like, we need this shit right now. And then they're like, is that it? Like, yeah, here's a piece of paper that says that's it. And they're like, yeah, we looked at the list. That's not it. You still have other shit. We want it. Okay, I'll give it to you. When? I'm going to give it to you. Because he's a thief. Well, that's, Sin City, I think you've got an argument there. But this is the biggest question for Eric, for fucking Hannity, for any of these dipshits. Why is no one saying to them, if he was cooperating, why not the day they're there say, whatever you guys need, take it today. Show them where we put our stuff and get it out of here. I'll tell you why, because he wasn't done copying it. Or that he wasn't even selling copies of it, he was selling visits. That if you know, if you paid him enough money, you could sit in the room like his own personal fucking skiff and look through all the shit.
Him the padlock, which he agreed to?
Yeah. No, they asked him to lock it better. They put a padlock on it. How the fuck does anyone... So, Sean Hannity, Eric Trump, we know Eric would think this, but Sean Hannity thinks that national security secrets are safe if there's a padlock on the room. No spy in the world could bypass a padlock, a fucking padlock. Also, convince me that Trump didn't just have them hang a padlock on the room, open, and then only have somebody latch it shut if the fucking FBI shows up. They're going to interview one of these staff members, and the staff member's going to go, yeah, that padlock was just open all the time. He had a standing order, all right. The standing order was, if the cops show up, latch the lock so they can think we were actually doing it. Also, it's a fucking padlock. How is that okay? What, I mean, for all the, like, Hillary's server was, if they could be hacked and blah, blah, blah. She had layers of security so tight on it that this shit has still never been found by anyone. The Russians didn't have it. The fucking Chinese don't have it. Nobody was able to go, aha, Hillary, you owe us a favor. Nobody, ever. They were, like, her shit was secure. Think what you will about what may or may not have been on it, but it sure as shit never got hacked by anybody. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is allegedly padlocking a room with national security secrets in it. And Sean Hannity is fine with that. What the fuck are you telling me? Ugh.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Sean. My father...
Yeah, that's exactly right. We put a padlock on it, and that's all you need, really. I mean, nothing says national security like a padlock. You know, they don't, you know, we took very strong care. My father had gym lockers from a local high school put in the basement for us to keep stuff in, mostly because he liked to sniff them. Anyways.
I mean, and that's what does...
No, you haven't. You have not been so cooperative. You'd been so cooperative, there wouldn't have been after the 15 boxes of classified shit you weren't supposed to have that you fought about taking for 11 months, there wouldn't be another 15 fucking boxes. So cooperative would have been, take it. Bring back what I'm allowed to keep.
My father said, anything you guys need, let me know.
They needed the stuff, and apparently that wasn't enough.
Anything you need, you know, let us know. Like, I mean, the lawyer, when I first told him about this, he goes, I can't believe this. Like, we had the greatest relationship with these people.
Yeah, they were so great. We were telling them, you know, 2 weeks, like your dad always says, and apparently they didn't believe us.
I mean, early June.
By the way, they put that in writing.
Anything they need at all, you let us know, and we'll give
They
it to you.
that in writing.
They put that in writing in February of last year, of this year. February of this year, they said, you've been so cooperative. So this really isn't about, isn't this really about...
And then they found out you weren't. Honest to God. That's like, it's like watching one of these true crime things and where somebody was murdered by their renter. And they were going, they were great until they weren't. He was a very quiet man. He never made much of a noise until he opened fire on the neighborhood. He was very cooperative until the knife thing. You know, the parties at John Wayne Gacy's house were awesome until the smell from the crawl space started fucking with, like, you're like, what is that? I don't know. Does this smell like 15-year-old boy to you?
Fishing expedition, January 6th, taxes, or...
Well, they fucking, like, they boated a marlin.
Anything else, you know, if your father spit on the sidewalk, isn't that what they're really looking for?
No. And if your dad collects his spit from the sidewalk and keeps it in boxes at Mar-a-Lago, he's sicker than I even thought he was.
Absolutely, it's a fishing expedition. I mean, they pulled the warrant on Friday. They didn't actually execute the warrant until Monday. So when I hear about these nonsense speculations about nuclear codes, okay, so, you know, FBI agents were so busy on a weekend that, you know, over nuclear codes, they...
Yeah, hi, dummy. Nobody actually thought they were nuclear codes. It was nuclear information. This is like people are saying nuclear material, and then some of these dumb fucks who actually think they mean plutonium. Nobody thinks there was a case of Doc Brown's underneath the fucking bed at, you know, near the giant guitar amp. That nobody believes that. This is not about nuclear codes. And some of the shit that they found was so high level they didn't expect to find it. And some of it was obviously separated into two boxes where there was box A and box B. They gave back box A in February and they went, holy fuck, this is only half of it. Where's the other box? And they went, well, they do still have some boxes there. Holy shit, what's in that box? I don't know, because the stuff that they have in those boxes is not supposed to be ever outside the building. And again, the original copy versus a copy that he kept conversation about this is going to be an incredibly important part of this case going forward. Did he indeed take documents that were in the skiff or in some other thing and keep them for himself, or, you know, put his PDBs and keep those, which have all the attenuating documents attached to them, and just forgot about it, just fucking box them? Yeah, the codes change every day. Like, that's not going to be in there. But where stuff is, or sub routes, or where our allies' nukes are, or what our treaties about them are, those kind of, that's the kind of paperwork they're worried about being in the wind. And then what this is lying through you know, hyperbolic statements that you know, these people are talking about like I've got fucking Godzilla in my garage, and the whole point is that no, you just have your cousin Larry who attacked people and bit them and tried to set their house on fire. And he's actually there. Can we talk to him, please? If that analogy makes sense to anybody?
It's nonsense. Sean is absolutely fishing. And you know, it's the exact same playbook that they used during...
Well, it's not. If it's fishing, they're going back to the same cove where they caught a giant fucking fish last time.
Exact same reporters are being leaked information that were used as the sources for the whole Russia hoax. I mean, go line up all the...
That's true. A lot of those reporters still have their jobs. Also, Sean Hannity and everybody at Fox News got a copy of the warrant and the paperwork from Trump immediately upon him saying you can go ahead and release it. They didn't release their copy until the 3 o'clock line, and the same thing was true of everybody at CNN got theirs actually on the day. So if anybody else got it from someplace else, they got it by talking to one of their right-wing friends who was, you know, interviewing or talking to Christina Bobb, who was also lying about it.
Inside information, unsolicited information during the Russia hoax. They're the exact same people that the FBI are leaking to now. It's the same reporters reporting on the same thing, the same story. They're going...
It's funny that they're still working at the same place, and my dad lost his job.
To our friends in the Democratic media...
Yeah, Ivanka's not coming out to defend any of this shit, and Don Jr. is terrible at it, which, again, goes to show you, like, Eric... The only reason they're talking to Eric, it seems, is because Eric was with his dad on the morning.
Who are lobbyists?
Or was came and told him. He was the one who had to break the news that this was happening.
Party... And they're leaking stories about Donald Trump to hurt him. We're 90 days out, Sean, from the midterms. Yeah. It's not surprising. This timing is not surprising, and it's bad.
I don't think so. The chair does not squeak. I think that's Eric you're hearing.
Firing on these people.
Hold on. I don't know why that froze temporarily. Give me 1 second. It's always part of just the ongoing issues that I have with these things.
The surveillance tape, is that correct?
Oh, that's interesting. That's fucking interesting, man.
Are you...
Whoops, hold on. Back up.
To share that? Still have the surveillance tape, is that correct? Are you allowed to share that with the country?
Absolutely, Sean, at the right time. And your body cam point was spot on. That's why cops wear body cams. They don't tell you to turn off cameras. They want transparency, and that's not what happened here.
No. When the FBI is looking at a place, they have cameras themselves. But the reason they don't want security cameras on them while they're doing it is so that they don't get sniped by some psychopath. Like, again, 2 FBI agents were murdered and 3 wounded just 2 years ago, not far from Mar-a-Lago. And the last time a couple of FBI agents got assassinated, it was also in Florida.
For a fact, they asked for the cameras to be turned off.
They asked for the cameras to be turned off.
Wow. All right. Eric Trump.
And they didn't. So you have it.